Welcome to Always Intense, the channel where the raw power of the oceans and the unpredictability of nature come to life. Despite huge advances in modern shipbuilding, accidents on the water continue to happen every day. Ahead of you are real, powerful, breathtaking moments captured around the world. Subscribe to the channel and let's begin this intense journey. Attempting to hijack a cargo ship. Attempts to retreat as their boat becomes disabled and finally sinks. The crew remains unharmed thanks to the guard's quick action. A cargo vessel slams into a long highway bridge in Baltimore, causing a section of the more than 2-kilometer structure to collapse. Rescuers race to locate construction workers who were repairing potholes at the time. The scene turns chaotic as heavy debris falls into the water. The MV Express Pearl, carrying 286 containers, including 25 tons of nitric acid, erupts in flames after an explosion while anchored off Sri Lanka. Burning chemical containers fall from the deck into the sea as emergency crews battle the fire. The environmental risk grows with every passing moment. Off the coast of Wales, a tanker becomes trapped in violent waves that stretch all the way to the Bay of Biscay. Massive swells slam the hull repeatedly as the crew works to keep the ship stable. A distressed oil vessel runs aground just dozens of meters off Runyon Island. The island is being battered by tropical cyclone Batsira, making rescue operations extremely difficult and dangerous. The footage shows private security guards opening fire on a speedboat attempting to hijack a cargo ship. Short, controlled bursts force the attackers to retreat as their boat becomes disabled and finally sinks. The crew remains unharmed thanks to the guards' quick actions. A small yacht bursts into flames without warning. The fire spreads fast and completely destroys the vessel, but miraculously, all passengers escape without injury. A 3,400-ton ship fights its way through fierce winds and towering waves in the North Sea. The footage shows the vessel violently rolling as the storm unleashes its full force. In San Diego, a skipper, allegedly under the influence, crashes his boat into the historic USS Midway Museum. The impact causes significant damage before the suspect flees the scene. A Dutch cargo ship is left at the mercy of a raging storm off Norway, with real danger of sinking and causing an oil spill. Some of the 12 crew members are seen jumping into the sea before being hoisted up by helicopter. The remaining crew are lifted directly from the deck and transported to safety. A large vessel runs aground in Moria, eventually breaking in half. A massive oil spill follows, darkening the water as emergency teams try to contain the environmental disaster. Diving with sharks has become a popular attraction in Cebu, even though the experience is crowded and highly commercialized. The sight of massive sharks gliding just meters away remains thrilling and unforgettable. A small pod of dolphins swims alongside a speedboat at incredible speed. Their synchronized movements and playful energy create a simple yet mesmerizing moment. The Rod Do company transports 2 high-speed missile boats from the United States to Egypt. The lifting and launching operations must be calculated with extreme precision, following strict US Navy standards throughout the entire process. A massive tanker slowly descends beneath the waves in a dramatic scene. The entire hull disappears underwater, reminding us how powerless even the largest ships can be against the ocean. the question arises, what should be done with the wreckage of the Wakashio, the Japanese merchant ship that ran aground and split in half? Leaking over 100 tons of hydrocarbons into Mauritius's pristine turquoise waters, Japan and France send specialists to assist the Mauritian government in the aftermath. Demonstrates remarkable control while guiding a vessel through massive rolling waves, whether through deep local knowledge or sheer talent. His precision keeps the boat steady against nature's power. On May 31st, 2010, dark clouds gather ominously over Campo, Colorado. Moments later, a huge tornado forms, carving itself into the memories of everyone who witnesses it up close. Footage captures a violent hailstorm, hammering rooftops and windows. Large chunks of ice fall like bullets, prompting people to back away from the windows as the hailstones grow larger and more dangerous. Nature's beauty and brutality collide in a single moment. The last scenes show people watching, filming, reacting, and trying to understand the force of nature around them, from shipwrecks to storms to tornadoes. All these moments remind us how unpredictable the world can be. Always respect the ocean, follow safety rules on the water, and protect marine environments because, once damaged, they are incredibly hard to restore. From the ocean that never sleeps, testing courage and steel, we now enter a new era of sailing. A new generation of ship rises intelligent, low emission, and ready to shape the seas of tomorrow.
Always intense, where ships face the raw power of the ocean. At Sawyer Glacier, Alaska, a massive iceberg collapses, sending a towering plume of water into the air, signaling the epic and dangerous journey that lies ahead. In Sicily, strong Sorco winds push a cruise ship onto rocks. Bow first, panic spreads among passengers. But thankfully, no one is injured. 117 passengers and 6 crew members are safely evacuated with the help of local boats. The anthem of the seas battles Hurricane Hermine. Towering waves tilt the ship, sending passengers gripping rails. Fear and awe mixing in every glance at the stormy sea. The Queen Elizabeth cruises through the Atlantic during a magnitude 11 storm. Waves crash against the hull, creating breathtaking but terrifying scenes of the ocean's fury. In Argentina, a colossal iceberg calves with a thunderous roar, flipping over as tourists on nearby catamarans watch in stunned silence. Nature's unpredictable force is on full display. On April 16, 2014, the ferry MV Seawall sinks off the coast of South Korea. A distress signal is sent 2.7 kilometers from shore, highlighting the importance of readiness for emergencies at sea. The Stena ferry, traveling from Holyhead to Dublin, faces giant waves. Voyager, one of the fastest passenger ships, is caught in Hurricane Valentine on the Mediterranean. Passengers holding on for dear life. A passenger falls seriously ill at sea. The rescue helicopter must hover and maneuver sideways to evacuate the patient from a moving ship. A breathtaking demonstration of skill and coordination. Anthem of the Seas battles, 180 mph winds and 30-foot waves. Passengers cling to rails as the ship rocks violently, every item around them tossed by the storm. in the Drake Passage, between Antarctica and South America. The Queen Elizabeth confronts a level 47 gale with waves over 30 ft high. Passengers grip railings, eyes wide with awe and fear. Carnival Sensation rescues a passenger in the middle of the ocean via helicopter. The precision of the crew and pilots ensures safety despite the violent waves and winds. MS Expedition Force 12 faces 100 mph winds on its journey from the Antarctic Peninsula to South America. Every wave tests the crew's skill and discipline, keeping the massive vessel steady. MSC Opera experiences technical issues while docking in Venice. A snapped tow line causes the ship to collide with a pier and another vessel. Injured passengers are rescued promptly, underscoring the importance of port safety. On October 18, 2014, a potential Ebola case arises on Carnival Magic. U.S. Coast Guard personnel collect blood samples, highlighting the vital role of health safety and disease control at sea. At Johns Hopkins Glacier, Alaska, a massive calving occurs for the first time in over 30 years. Passengers aboard Island Princess capture the awe-inspiring spectacle from their cabins. The Legend collides with an RCCL ship at Cozumel Port due to 50 mph winds, though no injuries occur. The incident emphasizes respecting nature and following safety procedures while maneuvering in port. In Drake Strait, between South America and Antarctica, a cruise ship battles 40-foot waves. Passengers are thrown off balance, experiencing the thrill and peril of navigating the most intense seas. During a storm on Island Princess, a journey that should have taken 2 days extends to 4. 50-foot waves and 50 mph winds shake the ship, forcing passengers to cling to rails and altering daily life aboard. exploring Tracy Arm Fjord, Alaska. Massive chunks of ice fall from the glacier, creating enormous waves that rock the vessel, a stark reminder of the ocean's unpredictable power. The journey concludes with thrilling rescues, violent storms, and awe-inspiring natural wonders. Always Intense leaves viewers with a clear message: respect the sea. Adhere to safety at all times, and protect our oceans so that future voyages can remain safe and sustainable.
Welcome to Always Intense, where steel meets the fury of the ocean. Out there, no moment is predictable, no voyage is truly safe. These are the real stories of ships that battle storms, fire and chaos, and the brave souls who face nature's wrath. The sea is calm now, but it never stays that way for long. The Japanese container ship APL Japan was caught in a violent Pacific storm. Winds tore across the deck, and, one by one 9/16 cargo containers were swallowed by the ocean. By the time the vessel limped into Kobe, Japan, its steel hull carried the scars of nature's anger, marking the second biggest cargo loss in history. Venice, the MSC Opera cruise ship lost control as it approached the port. The tow line snapped and the massive vessel crashed into the pier, crushing a nearby pleasure craft. Screams echoed as passengers ran for safety. The passenger ship near Sicily was pushed violently against coastal rocks by the relentless Sirocco wind. Half sunk, it leaned forward as waves broke over the bow. 117 passengers and 6 crew were rescued by local boats, but the memory of that sudden terror stayed forever. Near the Cape of Good Hope, a cargo ship fought 32-degree rolls in towering seas. Another, the Smart, was not so lucky, grounding hard in Richards Bay, where it split in two under the crushing surf. In minutes, the sea reclaimed it. Off Brazil's coast, the Stella banner ran aground. A 25-metre hole ripped open the hull. After days of evaluation, the decision came: sink her deliberately, to prevent an ecological disaster. Sometimes, mercy for the ocean means sacrifice. Bound bound for the Middle East. The South Korean ship Golden Ray capsized off Georgia. USA, 4,000 vehicles sank with her. The vessel rolled suddenly, trapping crew inside as rescuers cut through the steel hull for days. The ocean gave no warning, only silence before the tilt. At Europa Point, Gibraltar, the ship Fedra lost power and was slammed against the cliffs by hurricane winds. 3 tugs tried and failed. Spanish Coast Guard helicopters plucked 4 sailors from the wreck as waves shattered the hull. It was a fight between rock and sea, and the sea won. On a remote island near Tristan da Cunha, the MS Oliva ran aground, spilling oil into one of the world's most vital bird sanctuaries. Hundreds of seabirds coated in fuel struggled to fly. One ship's mistake became an ecological scar on a paradise few had ever seen. The chemical tanker Blue Star struck rocks off Spain's coast. With quick action, tugboats pulled her free before a rupture could release toxic cargo. The crew's calm coordination prevented another environmental crisis, a rare moment when skill triumphed over chaos. Drone footage captured the moment Stena Immaculate, loaded with jet fuel, was struck by another tanker. In seconds, 2 giants of steel locked together under dark clouds. Disaster loomed, but the crew contained the spill. It was the kind of miracle that happens only once. The cruise ship, Anthem of the Seas, met Hurricane Hernan head-on. Towering waves smashed against her bow as passengers clung to walls and prayed. Inside, chandeliers swung wildly, a floating city, fighting to survive a storm it could never escape. A Chinese Navy warship rammed its own Coast Guard vessel while pursuing a Philippine patrol boat. Metal ground against metal in contested waters. The incident shocked the world, a symbol of rising tensions beneath stormy skies. Off Sri Lanka. The MV Express Pearl erupted in flames. Nitric acid and chemicals spilled into the sea as black smoke filled the horizon. For days, emergency crews battled the inferno, but the ocean turned toxic, its surface burning like oil. The aftermath was an environmental tragedy that haunts Asia's waters. In Egypt, a massive cargo ship lost steering and slammed into the Suez Canal wall. The crash stopped all movement through one of the world's busiest waterways. It was a moment that reminded the planet, one ship can hold up the global flow of trade. Between the Atlantic and Pacific, the Red Rose faced the Drake Strait's legendary rage. Winds of 45 knots, waves 14 meters high. Every impact felt like a hammer against steel. Few places test a ship's soul like these waters. In deep waters off Brazil, the Polar Onyx, an offshore construction vessel, carried out a high-risk operation for Petrobras. Waves pounded its deck, but it stayed steady, a triumph of engineering, proof that human design can sometimes stare down the abyss. Near Antarctica, Aurora Borealis faced a force 9 gale. Winds screamed across the deck, 14-meter breakers rising ahead. Through ice, darkness, and chaos, she pressed on toward the frozen continent. In those moments, silence wasn't peace, it was survival. From the USS Kitty Hawk, damaged in a storm, to the Tobruk, deliberately sunk to create a reef, every ship tells a story of danger, of duty, of the eternal pull between man and sea. Each wreck becomes part of the ocean's memory, buried, but not forgotten. Every storm ends, but the lessons remain. The ocean demands respect, not conquest. Each mistake, each tragedy, carries a warning: protect life, protect the waters that sustain us. Because out there, where steel meets the sea, survival depends on balance between power and humility. This is Always Intense, reminding us that the sea never forgets. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Always Intense Storms roar. Engines fail, and chaos unfolds right before our eyes. A missile test near Sevastopol went off course, but fortunately, no one was hurt. This is a stark reminder of how delicate control can be at sea. Maritime law says the portside vessel should yield, but it didn't. Disaster was only seconds away. A quick-thinking fisherman narrowly avoided a collision with a passenger ship. Moments can make the difference between life and death. Being near a ship launch is like standing behind a jet engine. It's bold, but extremely dangerous. The risks of misjudging speed and distance are visible to everyone. A bridge tips and falls into the Ganges as crews try to move it by ferry. A dangerous situation, but fortunately, no one was hurt. Nature and gravity remind us that even careful planning can fail. A towering stack of containers succumbs to the relentless ocean waves. Even the largest constructions cannot resist nature's power. A spectacular yet cautionary scene about port safety. The Helen Merrill performs a flawless salvage, rescuing the MV Francis after a tense operation. Viewers witness precise coordination and skills required in high-stakes sea rescues. Training and rapid response save lives. Four vessels accidentally touch on the river. Luckily, it's only a light scrape with no damage or injuries. A reminder to stay alert on the water at all times. A boat loses its rudder after overpowering its sails. During a race, sled misjudges distance and collides with Gladiator, damaging the deck. Ship handling can be extremely sensitive. A diver comes dangerously close to a ship's propeller before the engine starts. One wrong move could have been fatal. Personal safety at sea is always a priority. A captain with little knowledge mishandles a situation, nearly causing an accident. Skill and knowledge are essential before any voyage. Multiple barges drift and collide on Marina River before reaching the bridge connecting Pasig and Quezon City. A tense scene with no injuries highlights the need for careful control in water traffic. After the collision, over 11,000 barrels of oil spill into the sea. Fortunately, no lives were lost, but the environmental impact is severe, a strong warning about maritime ecological consequences. A small boat gets pulled toward a ship's engine due to misjudged distance. The power of a large vessel can be immediately dangerous. Always maintain safe distances. A passenger ship collides with a car carrier, sending shock waves through the water. Luckily, no serious injuries occurred. A reminder to navigate carefully in crowded waters. A luxury yacht gets stuck in the marina. and every move forward or backward worsens the situation. This shows how vital navigation skills are. Listen to the wind tearing across the open sea. It's the sound of raw nature, reminding humans to respect its power. Mooring lines endure great pressure, but even the strongest ropes have limits. As tides shift, tension rises until lines snap. Equipment quality is critical. While docking, a yacht captain misjudges approach and strikes the dock twice before regaining control. Small errors can have big consequences. Viewers witness collisions, oil spills, and near-miss accidents. The footage highlights both the beauty and danger of the sea. Respect nature and maritime rules. Thanks for watching. Always intense, these breathtaking yet terrifying moments at sea remind us always follow maritime safety, keep safe distances, and protect the ocean environment. Respecting the sea ensures we can enjoy its beauty safely and sustainably. Welcome to Always Intense, where the ocean's most extreme, high-stakes moments are captured. In this episode, we'll witness a chain of maritime incidents, worldwide ships losing control, violent storms, fires, collisions, rescues, and environmental disasters. In Egypt, an oversized cargo ship suddenly lost control due to a steering system failure. The vessel rammed a pier and then ran aground in the Suez Canal. Aurora Aralis was heading to Antarctica when it entered a fully developed Force 9 gale, with winds at 40 to 45 knots. Significant wave height reached 9 meters, but the most terrifying sight was a crashing 14-meter breaker just ahead of the ship. The Japanese ship Wakasio ran aground and later split in half, spilling more than 100 tons of hydrocarbons into the turquoise waters of Mauritius. Japan and France sent experts to assist. A large fishing vessel flying the flag of the Netherlands confidently pushes through storm waves. With a load capacity of 5,162 tons, it continues charging through the rough sea. Russian tanker crashed in the Kerch Strait. One sailor died. The vessel was torn in half by storm waves, and thousands of tons of oil products spilled into the sea. Times raging with massive waves that swallow everything in their path. In today's video, Always Intense is taking you along to witness some of the most breathtaking, heart-pounding moments the sea has to offer. Let's dive right in. A terrifying storm is raging. The camera captures small boats struggling in the blinding chaos. The sea roars like a giant beast, unleashing its fury on everything in its path.
Line snapping, sails pulling out. Yeah, I was.
Oh my gosh, this scene is truly heart-stopping. A small, lonely boat, completely surrounded by a menacing waterspout. The next shot shows another boat facing the same danger. It's a real nightmare out there.
Oh my gosh. They just broke their boat.
Oh my god!
That is so cool! What the hell? Oh my god! That's so cool! That is so cool! Oh my god! Oh my god! That's so cool!
Oh no! That head-on crash into the dock completely smashed the bow of the ship. Accidents like this often happen because of navigation errors or braking systems failing to respond in time. You saw that the ship is going wild, almost like it's trying to climb over the other boats around it. Is there even time for anyone to react?
Oh no.
Çarpacak oraya. Oraya çarpacak oraya. Çarptı.
Oh my gosh, the storm hits and the anchored boats start rocking violently. It's like they're just waiting to be thrown right off the water. Each of these images is a vivid warning in the heart of a storm. Boats become terrifyingly fragile. Don't let overconfidence steer you straight into the danger zone. seals some of the ocean's most charming residents. They're gentle and adorable, but sometimes their surprise appearances can cause quite a bit of trouble.
I don't think this boat. Oh my gosh, it's so close to sinking. That thing eats 3 more salmon, it's done for.
He's gonna get in the boat. Look at him. Oh my God! He's getting in the boat! Oh my God! He's like, protect you. I'm gonna get protected now. Oh my Lord! Oh yay!
What do you think? Should we start charging it a ticket every time it boards? It looks way too comfortable, like it's on vacation.
好贵哦，好漂亮哦！快去宝宝，好漂
Can you even imagine it? A tornado over the open ocean and those tiny boats sitting right on its edge. The sail couldn't hold. Will this boat have enough strength to make it through the raging storm? Today's trip just got a whole lot more memorable thanks to the surprise visit from these unexpected little friends. Screaming didn't help. The boat stubbornly drove right up onto the shore like that was the plan all along. Another crash. This cruise ship couldn't stop in time and slammed right into the dock. Passengers must have been terrified. This ship is officially grounded. One small navigation error. And the result is exactly what you're seeing on screen.
Everyone okay?
This ship is officially grounded. One small navigation error. And the result is exactly what you're seeing on screen. sailing in conditions like this is extremely dangerous. Strong winds, huge waves, and limited visibility make every passing minute feel like a gamble with fate. You're looking at a modern Russian Navy patrol vessel designed to protect borders and key bases. It carries up to 8 crew members and is equipped with search and rescue gear, as well as unmanned underwater vehicles. With a top speed of 42 km/h, it's a compact yet powerful machine. Pretty impressive, right? And here's a fast response vessel built in Spain, designed to maximize speed, stability, and superior engine performance. It's the ideal choice for Coast Guard forces on maritime patrols, coastal surveillance, or urgent search and rescue missions. The Persian 54, a luxury yacht designed by Fulvio De Simone, has now become the hottest photo op spot. After running aground on a sandbar off Spalador Island, Spain, thanks to the captain for this truly unique pit stop. This small boat looks completely out of control with collisions like these. There's not only a risk of damaging the hull, but also a real threat to everyone's safety nearby.
Dorothy, I got it. This is great.
On its way to Kolkata, the MTT Singapore nearly had a head-on collision with another vessel on the Hooghly River to avoid disaster. The captain quickly steered hard to the right, causing the ship to crash into the bank in a controlled but dramatic impact. These waves look absolutely stunning, don't they? But don't let their beauty fool you. They can sweep everything away in the blink of an eye.
Did you get that on video?
Yeah, but oh my god, we gotta get out of here.
That tiny boat is relentlessly battling the ocean's fury, each wave threatening to swallow it whole, truly haunting. This is the ocean at its most brutal. Never, ever dare to underestimate it. a case demanding the most urgent attention right now. On March 6, 2025, a fierce blaze erupting from the electric vehicle compartment sealed the fate of the car carrier, mourning Midas. After months of tireless and unsuccessful efforts, this colossal vessel, along with thousands of vehicles on board, found its permanent resting place at the bottom of the sea on June 24, 2025. A vessel, drifting helplessly and out of control, collides with a bridge. In mere moments, it's reduced to a heap of twisted scrap metal. In this maritime standoff, both sides are filming, each convinced the fault lies entirely with the other.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Trzymaj się!
Look at that tiny boat out there. Are they losing their minds from fear, despair, or perhaps all three at once? Absolutely terrifying. A Norwegian local captured the horrifying moment a cement carrier slammed directly into nearby moored yachts due to equipment malfunction on board. The damage is estimated to be in the millions of dollars. Massive waves crash against the porthole, and can you hear that the joyful laughter proves these tourists are having an incredibly unique and
wave.
unforgettable experience at sea?
Was that scary?
The glass broke there. Oh no. Where at? Oh no, those guys. Oh my god. Pick it up.
Hey, look, you got one.
Don't look away. The next scene is even more intense. Hit subscribe now so you don't miss any more showdowns with the sea. Are you ready to feel the raw power of the Atlantic? This is a journey not for the faint of heart. this ship, post-accident, is slowly succumbing to the ocean's chaos. Only from a helicopter can we truly grasp the severity of the situation. It seems this cruise ship isn't performing quite as designed. Things are looking pretty grim. Oh my god, what a chaotic scene unfolds before us. The Seagull vessel suddenly took a severe list while unloading cargo at Iskenderun port, Turkey. As a result, 24 containers plunged into the sea, though fortunately, all crew members were safe. From a sailor's perspective, 6-meter waves are transforming the deck into an absolute scene of chaos.
Oh shit.
Each wave crashing against the window, then receding, serves as a stark reminder of humanity's insignificance against the ocean's wild dance. It's absolutely dizzying to watch this. 1 second of carelessness could mean the end. The ocean's power is truly terrifying.
Awesome!
The sea holds both beauty and danger, and these powerful vessels show just how seriously we take that balance. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed exploring these incredible ships with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing maritime content. Judging by the internet's reaction, this group made more than a few mistakes. Not sure what exactly happened. If you know, drop a comment below. Brace yourselves, we're facing the fury of the open sea. A high-speed boat race just as thrilling as you'd expect. But no one saw this coming. Two boats collide at the Superboat Championship in Key West. One is launched into the air and flips hard onto the water. Insane. Just look at what this luxury cruise ship is up against. The dazzling lights only highlight how fragile it is against the approaching storm. Ever dreamed of a peaceful boat ride with your beloved dog? Sounds great until your furry friend turns out to be a bit heavier than expected. This is a colossal cargo ship. Each journey a vital link in the global supply chain. With thousands of tons on board, it literally carries the world's economy across oceans. Impressive, isn't it?
Kinda.
Just one moment snapping pics at sea, and that phone's gone. Sometimes, it's better to live in the moment, literally. Here we go, launching a small boat, but in a flash, the dream sinks into the water. What a shame. Hopefully, they got a refund. Impressed by the sheer scale of this ship, this striking orange-decked oil tanker is more than just a mode of transport. It's a floating fortress at sea. The long pipelines running along its hull act like arteries, pumping thousands of tons of fuel to destinations around the world. Sailing on the open ocean can be both thrilling and tricky. One strong gust or a slip in technique and disaster strikes.
Whoa, fuck me. Fuck. Oh, pull it. Turn your sheets. Good, pull out.
This large-scale oil tanker with a deep red hull and stretched deck is an icon of the global energy trade. The bold "No Smoking" painted on the side. More than a warning, it's a lifeline when hauling flammable cargo. Watching a maritime giant being launched is always jaw-dropping. Have you ever seen something like this in real life? Let us know in the comments. Fishing is meant to be peaceful, but not for this poor guy. So much for tranquility. And here's another sea giant, an SM line container ship stacked high with thousands of crates. Each one is a piece of global trade. incredible. Right, can you imagine the swarm of trucks waiting at the port to unload it all? Share if you've seen it happen in real life. Unbelievable! A boat like that, sunk in just minutes, all because of a little carelessness. A small mistake can snowball into disaster. We hope this collection of jaw-dropping maritime moments brought you some thrills, and maybe even a few lessons. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Always Intense so you won't miss out on more epic content. See you in the next one. Hello everyone, welcome to Always Intense. Today, you're going to witness ships battling fierce waves, terrifying accidents, and even bizarre natural phenomena you've never seen before. Brace yourselves. Let's dive in. Imagine standing in the middle of the ocean, where every wave threatens to swallow everything, and the wind howls like a scream. The waves are churning, but fishermen brave it all to stay at sea, a battle between man and nature. At this moment, even a small mistake can lead to disaster. Watch how the sailors transfer from a large ship to a small boat. They make it look so easy. Sailors truly have a dangerous job. Incident in the Bay of Naples. The ship South Bay ran aground, but after hours of effort, rescue teams successfully freed it. Can you feel it? The presence of sharks. Hit follow to join us in exploring the most thrilling moments in the heart of the ocean. In this terrifying incident, a South Korean cargo ship carrying 4,000 cars capsized off the coast of Georgia, USA. At the time, there were 24 people on board, including the pilot and crew. During the storm, this timber ship had to face towering waves. Inside the ship's cabin, everything was shaking violently. In this footage, amidst the fierce storm, the Dutch ship still pushes forward without a hint of hesitation. A special moment, a boat is intentionally sunk to create an artificial coral reef on the seabed. Hear the anchor chains screeching at sea? This is a large cargo ship dropping anchor. And this is the beginning of a new journey. This expedition to Antarctica is truly exciting.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna crash. Oh my god.
Have you ever witnessed the sight of massive ice chunks constantly being pushed ashore on a lake? This scene is truly impressive, as if an invisible force is continuously pushing the ice towards the land. So, what is actually happening behind this fascinating phenomenon? In fact, this phenomenon is called an ice tsunami. When an ice tsunami occurs, ice chunks from the middle of a lake or sea relentlessly surge onto the shore. So the question is, how do ice tsunamis form in winter in cold regions? The surface of lakes or seas often forms thick layers of ice. By spring, this thick ice layer begins to melt. If, at this exact moment, there are strong winds, the ice will start to move. Combined with the pushing force of the water current, these ice chunks will rush towards the shore like ocean waves. To put it simply, the cold creates ice, then the wind and water currents push the ice chunks, ultimately forming this spectacular ice tsunami phenomenon. Isn't it miraculous? Nature always holds exciting surprises that we are still discovering every day. Have you ever seen an ice tsunami in real life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The ship rears up as if riding on the back of a giant monster. Warning snapped cables can cause serious injury. Unbelievable. It took them too long to leave the dangerous area. In the vast ocean, where humans are but a tiny speck amidst nature's fury. Every moment at sea is a battle between the will to survive and the unforgiving harshness of the waves. We have just witnessed incredibly dramatic footage. These are not just mere images, but clear testaments to human fragility in the face of majestic nature. Yet, hidden within is also the strange beauty of the ocean, the adventurous journeys, the spectacular moments, or even the way humans overcome adversity all paint a vivid picture of courage, resilience, and the intense desire to live. This is not just a compilation video. This is a reminder the sea is never entirely gentle. And for those who choose to live, work, or explore on its surface, they deserve respect. If your heart pounds when you see a ship struggling in huge waves, or you get chills when sharks lurk beneath the surface, you are not alone. The stories here are real, and there are still many more stories waiting to be told about humans, about the ocean, and about the thin line between survival and danger. If you found this video engaging, don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and follow the Always Intense channel. We still have plenty of dramatic and surprising content waiting for you to discover. See you in the next videos.